Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and you'll be seeing what's going on a lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual. A late night episode. I was considering recording this morning, but then I just ended up not doing so. I wish I could tell you there was some grander scheme of it all, where I didn't do it for some really enlightened reason, but no, not really. I just didn't. I just played some games instead, which I suppose you can't blame me for doing. But yeah. Good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 11:43 p.m. on Saturday, March 29th, 2025. I didn't do anything crazy. Like, I didn't do a particularly focused event or something. I basically just met up with some friends who I haven't seen for quite a while, and we just had a nice time together, chilling out, relaxing, all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of school. Yeah, we just had a night time. We had lunch together, and we just sort of walked around. We walked down a shopping centre, but we didn't actually buy anything because it's an expensive shopping place. But then it was a very interesting thing because I had a chance encounter with some other friends who also he was messaging me. And we were talking about some things, and that was it. He asked me how you would say the word bold in Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, and I was like, I don't actually know what the word is. But for a friend who I hadn't seen for a while, could speak Chinese. No, my shovel. My trusty colourful shovel, and Nooks is going to be closed right now, so we can't buy another one. We actually have to make one. It's the worst possible thing. Yeah, but my friend is, natively Chinese, so knew the word, which is tuto, I believe. I think so, at least. Hold on, let's see. Translate bold in Mandarin. And when I messaged my friend about being I didn't actually know the answer, but I'm actually literally hanging out with a friend, which he did know as well. I was I'm literally hanging out with his friend who I've not seen for ages, so I just asked him, and this is what he said. I mean, I don't know how the conversation evolved, but then the conversation just the next natural step being oh yeah, and I was why do you need to know this? And he was oh, we're going to Chinese barbers, not a hair salon near this place. And I was oh, I'm literally we're 3 minutes away from there, right now. We could literally just see. Oh, Guangzhou. Interesting. Tuto, Guangzhou. Guangzhou kind of sounds like barehead to me rather than bold necessarily. Anyway, so yeah, he said that, and I was oh, we're literally 5 minutes away or something. I'm such an idiot. I just made a stone axe. That's not what I wanted to make. Why don't we meet up? Hardwood. Okay, an iron nugget. So I actually just got out completely the wrong things. So we did. We met up and we hung around for a bit, and then we went to go eat dinner at this Korean place. We had a lot of soju. Was it stone? I can't remember. Stone and iron nuggets, something like that. And it was a really nice time. So just hanging out. It was a very chance encounter. Because I mean he was with another friend, and we often hang out a lot. But I didn't know that they were going over here today, and they didn't know I was going around to that area as well. It was just completely by luck, and we might not have even known that we were so close to each other, because we didn't even weren't even talking until then. That makes it sound like we're not on talking terms. No, we were on talking terms. It's we weren't even, saying anything to each other at that point, because we were both hanging out until that one random question. It's just so unbelievably random for him to ask that. and then for me to literally not know the answer, and then also mention, oh yeah, I'm like literally hanging out with his friend right now. And then for both of us to basically be so close to each other, it was ridiculous. You know, chance encounters, that's how it happens sometimes. I mean, it's like I don't know what else to necessarily say about it. It's kind of like an obvious thing. Obviously, even though I'm very good friends with my friends, it's not like we do literally everything together. There's a lot of things that we end up doing separately. I don't know why I picked up these cosmoses. Cosmos. I don't know what the plural is for that. So, yeah. Apparently they just had like a very spontaneous day where they didn't even really know what they were doing, and it wasn't until today they were like, oh yeah, you still want to, you know, try and do something. And we were like, yeah. So yeah, it's super random, like, and I mean, it was a great time. I'll have you know. Certainly not something where I was like, oh, what a drag, seeing more of my friends at the same time. I mean, I feel like it's a thing as well. It's not like a craziest thing. If you're hanging out with a friend and they're like, oh, you know, another one of my friends is actually super close by, do you want to meet them? You know, maybe a younger me would say, yeah, sure. And internally be like, no way. It's ridiculous. I want to hang out with you. Or like, I don't want to meet new people. But certainly me now, and probably me for the past decade or so, would be like, oh yeah, absolutely. But more the merrier. I guess it's because I trust my friends to have normal friends, right? Certainly when people are teenagers, people can be a little bit strange. But I feel like by now I've curated my own friend group and trust their judgment in who they end up befriending. Such that it's not going to be like a super awkward situation where I'll be like, oh yeah, I'd love to meet your friend. And you meet your friend and you're like, okay, this person has some interesting perspectives or something like that. Which luckily has never happened to me, because that would be, I'm not going to say it's a social faux pas necessarily. Well, maybe it is, I don't know. But it's certainly a very awkward situation. I suppose I'm rather fortunate not having to run into many of these particularly social awkward situations. They can just be socially awesome situations. Haha. I had no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, I thought it was just a very lovely chance encounter and meeting two more of my friends who I didn't expect to see today. And we had a nice time. We drank quite a bit of soju, which is very much a sort of go-to drink. If you haven't had soju and you don't like alcohol and you're of legal drinking age, give it a shot. It's a very easy to drink alcoholic drink, perhaps dangerously easy to drink alcoholic drink. Which makes it a great thing to introduce people to. Well, it's like, oh, people want to drink, but like, do they want to drink beer? No. Do they want to drink wine? No, not really. Well, soju's got you, because it's basically like, it's almost kind of like a cocktail. It's like just like a fruity. I'm not even sure what it's made from. What is soju made from? Fermented grains such as wheat, barley, or rice. Okay. Starchy ingredients. Sweet potatoes? Really? Or tapioca? Anyway, so yeah, I mean, my guess would have been a rice wine, but it certainly feels different from a rice wine. But yeah, it's a very drinkable thing. Is it cheap? It depends where you go. Certainly if you go to like an Asian supermarket, it can be quite cheap. There's one I've been to where they were selling bottles for £6, which is insanely cheap. But yeah, I mean, at a restaurant it was very expensive. It was like £12.50 or something, which is crazy, mind you. But you know, it's a restaurant surcharge, so it's not like the craziest thing. Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but it's not like unexpected. But yeah, we went to a very nice place, a place I quite like. It's kind of like I would describe it as, it feels like a Korean bar, like almost like a sit-down restaurant in a club. Not really. Well, maybe, I don't know. It's certainly got the hallmarks of a club, like loud music, a laser place, laser disco lights, all that jazz, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. It's a very nice. It's not the first time I think I've had a like complete chance encounter with a friend, but it's the first time where it was so coincidental, where it was like literally no information, like literally had no idea those two were going out. They had no idea I was going out. And we just happened to end up being like 5 minutes away from each other. Well, actually, the place he originally told me he was at, I was like, wow, literally, we passed it when we were walking over here. So we're probably, at some point, we're like 5 minutes away from each other. Turns out he got it slightly wrong. We're actually 15 minutes away from each other. But still, it was very close, what we're saying. And we were just like, wow, genuinely crazy. And I think those are like sort of nice coincidences which can end up happening. I suppose they can only really end up happening if you sort of live within a reasonable vicinity of each other. But I mean, it's a reasonable thing to just sort of have chance encounters running in with people. I think it's a lot of fun to just be able to randomly run into someone. It's certainly like, it's not something which happens that often nowadays. I'm trying to think, like, there was one time when I was out like on a lunch break and I ran into like an old colleague again. It was very random, like we went to like a coffee shop, except I didn't get any coffee because I didn't drink coffee, so I was just sort of like chilling outside waiting because there wasn't a lot of room. And then literally someone said my name and I was like, huh? And then I like stared for a second because I was like, I'm staring at this person. It's like, I know this person, and why do I know this person? And I was like, oh, it's like an old colleague. And it was crazy. And I think those chance encounters are really, really nice, you know. But sort of thing where, like, I don't know, those random little small moments which help bring a sort of like nice little sparkle to life, you know. Being able to have a sort of shared, unexpected moment. I mean, I guess that can only really happen if you like other people. I guess also if you don't like chance encounters, then probably it's not so fun, but I think nowadays it's very nice. And I think there's a certain like sort of camaraderie to be had of like hanging out and be like, oh, you meet someone, like, oh yeah, let's go like grab a drink or something, or whatever have you. It kind of depends on the situation, you know. I suppose if you're in the middle of working, you can't be like, oh yeah, let's go to the pub. Or maybe like after work you can. Who knows? In this case, since it was a weekend, we very much could very easily just sort of be like, hey, let's just chill out, hang out, have a nice time. Why don't we have a random KK Slider song as well? Let's hear it now. Any requests? I'll leave it up to you. Omakase. Take a seat. Vivian, let's rock out. KK Flamenco. Maybe I should have requested KK Idol or whatever it is. Did you bring out a glow stick? Crazy. But yeah, chance encounters. I don't think I've ever seen the villagers bring out glow sticks to this concert. I don't know. I don't know. Chance encounters. It's not like, to look at it from a very video game perspective, it's like having a random event, isn't it? You're just sort of minding your own business when boom, you rolled a D100 and you got like 95 or something. So you got a random encounter with someone you've met before. Which is obviously always a nice thing. I don't know. I guess it's not that a remarkable thing, but it feels remarkable. Because I think if you were to describe it being like, oh yeah, you know, I just like randomly met up with a friend, that sounds like a really normal thing. But I don't know. We both, not both, all three of us just ended up being. I can't buy a stock which is less than 15 points a share. Excuse me? Squeeze me? I must have clicked the wrong one. Just ended up being so unbelievably close to each other. Just like that. Feels insane is a wrong word, but surprising. I guess it's just a big old coinky dink. You know, maybe that's what I mean to say about it. That is just a surprising happenstance. Where things just sort of, you know, worked out in the best way possible, of course. Certainly not something where I'm like, I wouldn't take that, but I don't know, I'm trying to think of like other times I've had just like chance encounters with people where it's just like, oh, you know, I'm just sort of minding my own business when, whoa, suddenly here's someone I randomly ran into who I know before. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just almost a bit strange, I suppose, how things end up happening like that. I'm really trying to think, have there been like sort of other chance encounters where I just ran into someone unexpected? I mean, obviously there have, but like, I'm trying to think of one where it's been that coincidental before. Because I feel like the chance encounters you usually have are with people who you're not super close with, but you're like acquaintances, being like, oh yeah, we used to like go to the same class or something, or you know, we attended the same club for a while, and like I haven't seen you for ages. This one is very much just sort of, this is a really good friend who I just ran into by happenstance, which makes it, I don't know, almost stranger in a certain way. Because I think with a really good friend, you often tell each other when you're going out to places, or when you're doing X, Y, Z, when you're having a plan to go to ABC. So I think it's a lot of rarer situation to be able to randomly turn up at the same place, unexpected to them. Not out of a question, mind you, but certainly unexpected. Yeah. Chance encounter. Oh yeah, let's leave a thumbnail out as well. Okay, where is it? Dear darling, YouTube thumbnail. That's not YouTube thumbnail, that is literally YouTube icon. Okay, copy, paste. Okay, rename it 1831. Get MS Paint open. Chance encounter. What can we add for a chance encounter? I don't know. But we can put a 1 here. I'll just put like a tiny stick man in the background, who's just sort of waving. Chance encounter. And I put as a tagline, what are the chances? No. You know what's a better one? Fancy seeing you here. Which is not really a line I've said, except for ironically, to be honest. But maybe I should have done it unironically. Fancy seeing you here. Exclamation mark. There you go, beautiful. It's like I put the second coming from Alan Becker's animations in the background of it. Very much fancy seeing you here indeed. Anyway, on that note, I think I'll round this episode off here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see you again, but for now it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.